Greetings and salutations, Dota fans! It is I, Badger, back for some more League of Lads season number 13 action. We are back at it again. We got a fun series for you tonight. On the Radiant side, it is Polar Ass, a team full of long-time Lads veterans, featuring season number 12 Lads champion Agent 07 Whole City. Meanwhile, on the dire side, speaking of names that have been a part of Lads for a long time, it is the Lonely Stoner, who are currently tagged up as Noun Test. I'm not quite sure what they're going to be tagged up as this season. Featuring two-time champion Sasquatch, two-time champion M. John, and also season 12 champion Dark. Some former teammates on Pizza Dog facing off in a brawl early on in the group stage. Should be a great time. I think both of these teams are teams that are relatively on the lower MMR end, but there's zero doubt that these are fun friend stacks that can easily fight above their own weights. Like, they are stronger than their weight class, aka their MMR bracket would indicate. Obviously, some very good players on the dire side. You look at Dark, he's the guy who's been 8K in the past. Look at Sasquatch, again, much like Dark, he has experience playing semi-pro Dota with Dark. Polo, of course, used to be a scourge to amateur leagues. Same with Jakku, for that matter. So there's some big upside. A lot of amateur experience on the dire side. And of course, this Radiant side is notorious for finding a way to win these late game scenarios. The Polar Ass of old, for those who don't know, was a legendary high ground defense team. It's fantastic at managing to pull a rabbit out of the hats and then pulling a hat out of the rabbit after you do that somehow. It's just unbelievable how Polar Ass can pull out these wins. So I think we are in for some fantastic Dota 2. Polar Ass currently they're 2-0 to start off. Nothing too wild and crazy quite yet. They beat the Dota Dads of Lands, I believe, last night, 2-0. Meanwhile, this dire side have not played yet. This is their opening series. They'll be playing a second series tonight. Looking over at the bands, first bands, nothing too shocking there. Spiritbreaker, Pugna, Undying, Techies, all top tier heroes. All can be played support, though we have been seeing a good bit of Spiritbreaker core as of recently. 5-pick, it is the legendary Bilski Doombringer, into 6-7 Venom Bloodseeker, into 8 Medusa. The Polar Ass certainly have drafted where they want to go draft-wise. They've got some classical Polar Ass heroes. This is sort of heroes you would expect in really any patch. Again, Filsky Doom, Sonogod in that late game reliable carry. It's the sort of thing you want to see from this team. For this Noun Test / Lonely Stoner side, again, they've gone meta. Bloodseeker certainly is one of probably the 2 or 3 most popular carries right now, along with the Medusa for that matter. And then you have Venno, who is certainly a hero whose stocks have been on the rise the last month or so. Can be played support, can be played 3-role core in the offlane. Certainly have options. It feels a lot like a Jakku hero, to be honest. I don't think he'll end up being the one who will play the Venno, but it certainly feels like a Jakku hero, if nothing else.
5 seconds remaining.
I will say, though, there is certainly going to be a lot of farming action on the Radiant side. You have Dusa, who is a fantastic farmer. You have Doom, who is naturally a good farmer anyways with Devour. You build a Midas, as Dooms tend to do, and a player like Filsky, who is a good gold accumulator, and there will be some fun had there gold-wise. Filsky is once again all chatting Hadger at me. I'm honestly not entirely sure what the reference is on that one yet. It just happens. The energy has gone down a little bit saving a little bit of energy for later in the day. Certainly still have plenty of commentating for this series. I actually am rolling solo for a little bit. It's probably gonna end up having somebody for game 2, but my initial search did not come up in a fruitful fashion. Got some no's. What can you do?
10 seconds remaining.
But we are chilling for now. We are
5 seconds
simply in the
remaining.
pregame. We have gotten past the longest phase of the draft, though. It is phase 2 bans now over. AM, Nyx, Darkseer banned by Cello. Rubik, Shadow Demon, Skywrath banned by Dark. So, again, all pretty good heroes banned out. Obviously, Shadow Demon's a hero has been on the rise, popularity-wise, for the last probably month and a half now. Certainly an in vogue hero currently, but we end up seeing a Clockwork selected. That's probably our Sasquatch hero, if I had to guess. I know he has played it for some teams in the past, but I'm not entirely sure if this team will be following the farm priority listed on their page. If you look at the initial farm priority listed on their Dota buffs, it says Polo carry, Dark mid, Jakku off for Sasquatch 5, Mjon. But I'm honestly not entirely sure if that's going to end up being the case. I've heard some rumors it may end up being Polo mid, Dark carry. I've heard some rumors of possibly the support swapping around, so we'll have to see where the players end up here on this fine evening. And obviously, again, you potentially could even swap around from 3 to 4 to 5. I mean, both Jakku and Mjon have both offlane and support experience, so this could be one of those feel it out situations where you don't necessarily know where you're going to go quite yet. We'll say though, Polar Ass have used a lot of reserve time for this Lich selection. Surely they have another thing they're thinking about as well. They probably had the Lich down pretty early into that reserve time. They just wanted to use as much reserve time as possible, I think, up their 17 pick. Obviously, 17 pick is often one of the hardest situations to draft for when you are playing first pick, because you're often selecting a hero who is both blind picking lane-wise at 17, as well as you're picking into 2 counters at 18-24, and you do not have bans to protect it the way you would with the 23, so it will be the Enigma. Okay. Interesting. I mentioned some heroes who are in vogue this draft. Enigma certainly is one of them. So possibly the highest stock riser in all of Dota currently. Enigma stocks are skyrocketing in the last week or so. I know over the course of the major, Enigma was one of the heroes who went from being relatively off the radar to suddenly now he's being selected with high priority to an extent. So hope to see how Polar Ass play the Enigma. It is certainly a Polar Ass hero in terms of a hero who can play the late game team fights well, who can play the 4P1 style if somebody wants to farm, can play even like a 3-man style with sups if he ends up being a core, or can be a strong sup if he's a sup. I'm not quite sure who will be playing it role-wise for Polar Ass. We will still have to see about that one, though. The response will be Tidehunter, though. I like this a lot. I mean, it's not necessarily Gradient's Doom, but other than that, this is a fantastic Tide game. And if you end up tanking the Doom on Tide, you can at least say, well, my carry is not doomed. My middle laner is not doomed. At the very least, I've tanked the Doom. However, if you can get, obviously, the Doom off before he uses his aura items, before he uses Ravage, it's certainly a valuable Doom. In this sort of scenario, Ravage is that key counter-initiation tool that can break up this Polar-ass team fight where, again, you can easily go, say, Blink Doom into a Black Hole, into a Chain Frost. You throw in a Stone Gaze, especially if you do like a Swift Blink, you throw in a Stone Gaze. It can absolutely demolish this dire side, but if you could have a well-timed counter ravage, you can mess with that chain of initiation and certainly cause some problems there for this Radiant set piece team fight strategy in a sense. But they do have more they can do outside of simply set piece team fighting. And even if they still want to do the team fighting, you can just do the Tide. I would not be too shocked if Filski goes Octarine and Refresher this game, which would give him the option to reliably get 2 Dooms off every single team fight, pretty much. Certainly 1 Doom every team fight. And you could throw 1 on Tide and then another 1 on another hero. Potentially you could throw 1 on Tide and then Doom yourself, maybe even. And then you would be able to, say, run down a carry or a mid with the self-Doom and then putting the one on the Tide so he's perpetually doomed. Again, Lincoln Spheres, Lotus Orbs, probably going to be the way that Dire end up itemizing at some point, just with this Doom in mind. But you now have the 23 pick. It will be the... Okay! Is that a whole city puck? I mean, it certainly contributes to the team fighting further. You throw in a Dream Coil. That's certainly a high-octane hero. You blink on and you cause a lot of chaos. Say you see some backlines you can jump on during the team fight. You say have Doom or Enigma be your primary initiator in a team fight, and then a puck over the backlines to break the Dire side counter initiation. Break some Blink Daggers, silence some defensive items. Heroes. I meant to say silence defensive abilities, but still, that is an interesting 24 pick. That's Sniper. Which is not what I expected. So it is going to be Dark playing the carry, Polo playing the mid. This is the other Polo, by the way, not Polo 5885, the player on Los Pollos Hermanos, the Flash Canoe Artorias team. This is the other Polo, who has had great success in other amateur leagues, but has little actual lads experience. So we have M-Job playing the Tide. We have Jakku on Clockwork, Sasquatch on Venno. So either it is going to be a 3-roll Clockwork, or we are going to have a roll swap for this Lonely Stoner side. Meanwhile, for the Radiants, it will end up being a support duo of Lich Enigma, which... Again, you certainly have a lot of potential kill threat there. You do Lich Enigma plus a Doom, or Lich Enigma probably plus a Puck is going to be the most likely scenario. We're going to have Whole City get an item and a half or so, and then play the 3-man Dota with Enigma Lich, as Filski, say, pushes in a side lane, and Dusa gets priority farm. I think I actually prefer this this Dire side draft, though. I think the Radiant side app's a lot harder to play. I think it's going to require a very good teamfight coordination, which again, Polar S certainly have the players to make that work. But Dire's draft just seems so much easier to play. I think it's going to be hard to both deal with the Tide and deal with the Sniper in these teamfights. Because those are obviously both heroes you need to deal with. Especially when Sniper has hit critical mass and is simply a very large and strong hero, but perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe Polar Ass will continue their winning streak. They're already 2-0. Maybe they'll go 4-0. Just do some absolute beating down. This is certainly going to be an interesting mid lane, though. It's Whole City on the Puck versus Polo on the Sniper. I believe before Puck has some levels, this is a very sniper-sided lane. Eventually, Puck, of course, can get some more levels, especially once Puck has 6. Then there's a lot more threat to turn. But outside of that, Puck should do pretty well against Sniper in the game, assuming Puck is not entirely behind in items. Obviously, being able to blink upon the Sniper and blow your load is an option. So, you unleash a salvo of Blink, Foil, Waning Rift, Orb, you right-click at the Witchblade. You have a lot of options there to deal with Sniper. You'll certainly need a BKB. You might need Concussive Grenade. You have a lot of things you will need, but if Sniper can get that farm, then he can stand his ground this game. Outside of the Puck, you don't necessarily want to be blinking on the Sniper with Doom, unless you can say like maybe a blink Doom thing that's not Sniper and then run down the Sniper with your Puck. Let's see how these team fights play out, actually. I'm a little bit perplexed into how these team fights will play out. But obviously, me just discussing it here in a vacuum is a lot different than how they will end up playing out in practice. Obviously, there's I'm just gonna call it the cerebral minds of people like Dark and Sasquatch, who are certainly two of the smarter players in Lads, versus I want to call it the controlled chaos of Polar Ass. I've heard the comms of Polar Ass in the past, as early as Season 5, even some of the chaos we have in their comms. Obviously, players like Whole City recently, so there's certainly some possible fun involved today, but we shall see. We shall see.
It feels good to be this good.
Already a little bit of all chatting from Sonagod with the PPD voice lines. It is the classic. This is gonna be a fun one. I will say though, Battery Assault top lane, Chow's being run down by Jakku, but he's only level 1 right now. He'll Blood Grenade onto Filsky. Blood Grenade has been returned on Jakku. Supports and of course the offlane Doom will continue to trade. Both Doom and Clockwork are quite low. And that will be the end of the trading for now. That is probably going to be the most interesting lane of the game. Deuce of Tides sounds pretty boring. And then Puck Sniper, I don't suspect anyone will die unless Polo just absolutely outplays Whole City, or vice versa. Of course, Whole City outplaying Polo, but again, we shall see. Unfortunate there. Polo wanted to deny, could not find it. And he won't get that deny either, but there was no last for Puck, so I'm sure it'll be a-okay. Now we're seeing a tip return by M-John. I think there's a little bit of bad blood between these two teams. I don't think it's serious beef, but these teams obviously have played a number of times over the last like 8 seasons of Lads. Obviously not the exact 5-man lineup versus the exact 5-man lineup, but these certainly are rosters that have individual players playing individual players for a very, very long time. I know a lot of the endemic Lads crowd in Season 5 and Season 6 certainly still hold a bit of a grudge towards like the Sasquatch sort of crowd. For those who don't know, Season 5, Season 6 of Lads was the seasons in which Dark W absolutely ran the league. This is where Sasquatch, Apex, M-John, HZ, ET went back-to-back, and they went back-to-back in dominant fashion, so at this time, you know, this Polar-ass core of players were certainly playing. I think they still had Nika at the time, and Fatal Uno, but Fatal Uno might have been on a different team, actually. I think it might have been with the Funny Zone guys, but regardless, they're going to see Sasquatch on the run bottom lane, slow from the Frost Shield of Lich into the Frost Blast. Sasquatch will TP, and it will succeed. However, it went to the tower, so he's still quite injured. He doesn't really do much at this low of an HP level, so what can you do? Regardless, we are going to see some more trading in side lanes, of course, because that's how it goes sometimes. No first blood quite yet, but again, there's some very low heroes. Sonagod's pretty low on the mana, though. He does have 11-1 charges, so he can, of course, wand up if he wants to bait over the top lane. Malefice on Jakku, Blood Grenades fly in the air once again, Blood Brights on the way. It will hit on both Shello and Filsky. Jakku's going to have to run away regardless. He's a little bit too low on HP to take the man fight, but even though Jakku lost the man fight, Dark's very happy. Both Cello and Filsky are a bit injured. He'll get a little bit of move speed, of course, pretty soon with these low heroes. Over to bottom lane once again. 80 wants a kill on Sasquatch. Needs one more hit and he'll get it. That's first blood going to Lich. M-John wants vengeance. Anchor Smash hits. 80 has a stick to bait a little bit further, and as a result, M-John will not get the kill. Good outplay there from 80 with the Blood Grenade, just killing the 2-time champion Sasquatch. Now it's very own Sasquatch. He's getting brought down there, so
It feels good to be
certainly a good start to the game for Polar Ass. I'm being asked to cast another series? We shall see, we shall see. See how the voices feeling after 2 games. I'm feeling like it might not hold up today, but we'll find out. We'll find out. I love how Jakku just has half HP and he's still posturing like he's about to go in anytime. Like, you know what? I've got Battery Assault. You must be afraid of me. Problem is, Cello has Eidolons, so he has these 3 extra units to tank the battery assault if Jakku runs in here. And as a result, he's walking in and just getting slapped by the Eidolons, but... Oh, wait a minute. Blood Ray and Battery Assault. The Eidolons are microed towards Dark and been lasted by the Bloodseeker. Both supports are very low. Cello dies first. Filsky wants vengeance. He's out of spells, other than this this takeoff Harpy Scout ability. Not that it matters, so he'll simply kill him with the Scorched Earth. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade. Filsky getting the full soul experience on Jakku, and Dark not getting the kill bounty for Cello Mellow dying, so Filsky probably not all that upset with how things turned out there. See a bottle filled mid by Cello, TPing in to fill the bottle of Whole City's Puck. It is, of course, minute 6 now. It is time for the minute 6 rune. Seems like neither mid laner will get it, however. Either Enigma will get it top or Venno bottom. Orb. Oh, it spawned bottom. And as a result, Sasquatch will simply have to grab it because Sniper is a very low moose. Wait a minute! The Harpy takeoff! It just saved Filsky. That's that's actually hilarious. Not an ability you see all that often on the Doom, of course, this Harpy takeoff, but because Filsky had it, he just went over the impassable terrain ledge. Malphas top lane on Dark. Jakku's running forward battery assault. Again, Eidolons are tanking a lot of the damage. Dark will last, I believe, 2 of the Eidolons, and now run away. I don't think either team is that upset with the relatively even trade there. Over to bottom lane, Gale's there on 80. Sasquatch does have the Arcane Rune end, but he's a little bit worse for wear HP-wise. While 80's still full HP with a Lotus and a 7-charge stick, so... I mean, zero doubt about it, 80 on the Lich will be absolutely fine with trading at this stage of the lane. Where is he going? Is he just gonna grab the wisdom? Wait a minute. Is he just gonna walk up slowly and grab this wisdom rune? Oh no, Sasquatch is on the way. He's got the wards, he's got the Gale, 80's got the Frost Shield. Sasquatch runs to the north and east. I think Lich gets here first, barely. However, Sasquatch will deny it with the Plague Ward. Everybody's sad. Lich TP's away. There's no TP cancel in time, though. Mjon almost got the Lich killed anyways. Back to top lane. Doom is Scorched Earth and running away. Battery Assault from Jakku. TP in by the buck of the 2-man Dream Coil. Orb forward. Hits on Bloodseeker. Jaunt in by Whole City. Jakku certainly will fall, but now Radiant head to Dark, who's been mini-stunned by the Malphas. However, he's still a very fast Bloodseeker. He will simply run away. However, in comes 80 on the Lich with the Frost Blast into the Sinister Gaze. He still can't kill Dark, I don't think. The Frost Shield visually appears to be on top of Bloodseeker. However, he is not going to be all that impeded. I'm not even entirely sure the ability hits. And as a result, Bloodseeker runs away. That will be 1 kill for the Radiant, bringing down the Clockwork. However, Polarass committed 4 heroes. Everybody but Medusa either TP'd or walked or even twin-gated towards that top lane team fight to only bring down 1 support. However, Sonicus is absolutely fine bottom lane using Mystic Snake, ruining the day of Mjon, who once again is expressing his displeasure in the all chat. I am interested to know which team will end up. I think one team might end up calling no all eventually, and I'm curious who ends up calling it first at this point. Ay ay ay. This is going to be certainly a series, if nothing else. Frost Blast and Doom both mid at top lane, though, on different targets. Bloodseeker still running away. Cogs are in from Jakku, zoning away the Doom multiple times. It seems like the initiation has failed. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they'll go in for Sonogod, and Sonogod is simply dead. Brought down, I believe, lasted by the gush of Mjon on that tide. And speaking of gush, they'll once again go in for 80, taking half his HP. Gale's up in 3 more seconds for Sasquatch. However, in comes Whole City. Coil committed, Orb online. Waiting Rift into Orb into Frost Blast brings down the tide. Last hit goes to 80 on the Lich. Meanwhile, top lane, 2v2 fight there once again. Dark's running in for Cello. Rupture was committed. Cello has fallen. Over to Filsky. He's once again taking off with the Harpy Creep, running away. I don't think that necessarily saved his life that time, but Twice he has found a utility for one of the worst possible creep abilities you can get on Doom. I am impressed. And he will now replace it with the Mana Ore and, of course, that Mana Burn. Both certainly decent options to use. And the Mana Ore just being a generally decent early to mid-game option on that Doom, was often a mana-starved hero. Over to the top lane, it's Filsky, Cello, and Dark headed in for 80. Dark will put down a Blood Ray on the floor. Chain Frost is bouncing on around, not that it was necessarily needed. Cello gets that last hit, and Dark is dead. However, in comes Jakku from the south side with Battery Assault and Cogs, bringing down 80. Filsky and Cello, of course, wanted to turn that 1-for-1 into a 2-for-1. Malphus is online, but at this point, Jakku is a little bit too fast, a little bit too healthy. There's probably something happening in mid lane right now. And by something, I mean literally nothing. He's sitting under tower. I've chosen to watch this rather than bottom lane, where there's an actual fight going on. M-John already used Gush. Sonagod will TP away. M-John had Ravage on cooldown. Sumo was used earlier off camera when I missed it on that earlier kill on Sonagod. Ravage, I guess, had to have been used then. Looking over at hero net worth, though, nothing too wild and shocking right now. Number one, surprise, surprise, it is Filsky on his signature Doombringer. Not quite yet at the Midas, and only 2 points in Devour. Despite that, he's still number one net worth by 400 gold. Next in line will be the Sniper, who is at 5.4k net worth. Certainly a good start to the game for Polo, who is certainly out CSing Whole City. Sniper is 82-29. That's 29 denies on Polo versus Whole City, who is 52-1. So not necessarily bad farm on Whole City, but it's certainly a lane loss. And that is one thing I mentioned, especially in the early levels where Sniper has a decent ability to play the lane versus Puck, and Polo certainly capitalized on that one, just trouncing Whole City in creep stats. Back to the net worth chart, though. Third in net worth, M-John. Fourth in net worth is Dark. So again, all three of these dire cores are in the top 4 net worth wise. Not far behind that is the Deuce, and a bit further behind that is the Puck. So Whole City is, wait a minute, is Puck? There's no way, right? Orb into John, he'll be fine there on Puck. But the Fusel Blade, wait, that's a black hole. He's under the tower. Polo has been punished for his transgressions. He wanted to bring down the good old Puck under a tower with the Diffusal Blade, burning that menace, having so much stats on the Sniper, but it did not matter. Meanwhile, top lane, it will end up being a trade. Dark lane with the Rupture to bring down the Filsky Doom. He ended up dying there, but that's certainly a unique set of interactions mid lane. Perhaps the first time in Dota history you've seen that exact chain of events happen. Over to the bottom lane again, though. It is Sonagod manning up with M-John. Is there a TP cancel? Yes, there is. Coil is still on Ryan. Ravage on 3. Just trying to run away, but the problem is he has very little backup. It's only Sasquatch backing him up right now, and in comes more. Filsky is TP'd in. Duso is brought down by Sniper. So it's M-John dead, but straight for Sonagod. The tower's been blasted by the Sniper as well. The fight continues. Chain Frost will bounce around, but only twice. Coil's committed on Sniper and Veno. Puck's on the inside, trying to stand his ground right now. Doom comes in there on the clock from the back lines. Filsky dead, the trade for Pole. Hopefully, he right-clicks down Sasquatch, and now he's running away from Dark. Dark looks for his former teammate and brings him on down there with the Veno's help from the damage over time, and now the Doom clock's looking to run down the Lich. Battery Assault is on cooldown. Big Pole comes in from 80, but it's a Rupture from Dark. Pump fake on the hook shot from Jakku into the Battery Assault instead. Dark secures that kill on 80. That is, I believe, a 3-for-2 trade. 3-for-2, 4-for-2 trade, actually, in favor of the side of the Dire. The Lonely Stoner, certainly not lonely right now. Very much happy with that trade in the bottom lane. Where was I? Yeah, this is a fight. It's a good old team fight. I didn't bring enough water for this cast. What can you do? I will say, though, it is farming time. A lot of farm ahead of us. It's certainly going to be a bit of a farm game. The choice to go to Fusel on Sniper is beginning to make more sense, though. I was thinking of it strictly in a Sniper-Puck interaction earlier, and then I remember, wait a minute. There's Medusa. This thing's got mana burn. This thing's got mana burn. Speaking of, mid lane, whole city is forced to jaunt away. Jakku comes in with the hook shot. Sasquatch comes in with the gale. Although man's up with 80. Chainfrost once again will bounce around. Whole city's dead, but in comes a trade perhaps. Or no trade. Instead, it's 2 kills on the Dire side and a rupture on Filski. Filski will attempt to run to the safety of his tier 2 tower, but in comes the dive. Gush on Filski. Cello backs him up. Black Hole is on cooldown. Filski remains alive. He'll use the magic wand. Sasquatch wants to dive. He'll use the Noxious Plague to try to bring down Filski, and he will succeed. It'll be a 3rd kill for the side of the Dire. That's Puck, Doom, and Lich lost. In exchange for some, but not all of Dire's cooldowns. Ravage, notably, is still available. So certainly a win. I mean, there's zero doubt about it. It's currently a 3,000 net worth lead for the side of the Lonely Stoner. That's despite playing into a Doom with Midas, who generally will be a very farmed hero because of being a Doom with Midas. Definitely a scary game state for Polar Ass, but not an unfamiliar game state. This is kind of where they're comfortable sometimes. They just play these games where they lose, a couple lanes, but they have this great team fight combination where it's like, you know what, sure, maybe we lost a team fight, but we can still, hit Black Hole, hit Stone Gaze, use Doom, use Dream Coil, use all these abilities. Speaking of abilities, use Rupture bottom lane there on Filski. Ravage will be there on both Doom and Lich. Doom has died. 80 tries to bring down M-John, bring him under that tower with the Sinister Gaze, but M-John's just so tanky right now. Oh dear, Stone Gaze was used. M-John finally will eventually fall, but in comes Jakku, the 2-man hookshot. Lich to fall. I think it was on the inside of the Cogs. That'll be a 3-for-1 so far. Also, he's right-clicked down by Polo. Sonic's the lone survivor. We have an Inhibit Slow coming in from Sniper's Diffusal Blade, purged off of the Manta of Medusa. However, Dusa is still forced to run. That's a 4-for-1 trade again in favor of his Dire side. Another major team fight win. That's about a 2,500, actually more like a 2,000 even gold swing, but still, a 2,000 gold swing is quite significant at this stage of the game, and again, we are certainly looking at some threat towards these tier 2 towers even. This bottom tier 2 and the mid tier 2 have both been under a little bit of stress, but neither have died yet. Alright, so what key items do we need in the Radiant side to team fight? Because that's clearly going to be their win condition is hit abilities, do damage, win team fights. But what do they need to use said abilities? Now, in an ideal world, you doom the time before he uses Ravage. Then at that point you can still not really actually cast Black Hole right now. There's a lot of really good ways to cancel Black Hole this game. Clockwork has one through BKB. Tide is a very large AoE Ravage. Bloodseeker, of course, can cancel that one. If Sniper skills his ulti, he can cancel that one as well. He has not skilled it yet. There's a lot of ways of potentially ruining that Black Hole, so you can't necessarily rely on Black Hole in these team fights. But again, you've got Stone Gaze, you've got Dream Coil. Those two abilities in conjunction can be quite powerful in terms of just messing with the opponent's ability to interact with your team fight. But the problem is, if you're this far behind, then you can kind of just run it down. You already have some... You're reading about these aura items on M-John. You've got a mech on Sasquatch. You have a drum on Jakku. You can kind of just run it on down there with your BKB Bloodseeker and your heavy stat item Sniper and just say, you know what? Use your abilities. We'll use Ravage. We'll use Veno ulti. This Noxious Plague ability. We'll probably ruin your day anyways, so... Nothing easy right now. Over to mid lane, Filski's being gone on, gushed by M-John. He'll have the sent the hookstop. Now the Doom comes in. The hookshot comes in from Jakku, hitting on Filski. Filski certainly will fall. Radiant want vengeance. Jakku 4 staffs away. Hold steady while waiting Rift in to bring down the clockwork. It is a 1-for-1 so far. The Doom will end on Jakku, progression onto Mjon right now. So he has Ravage ready to go, and as a result, he is very happy to simply staying here and playing Dota 2. They once again now have to deal with this very tanky Watermelon, but this time, yeah, they can't Doom him. Doom's not available. Sasquatch will dodge the gank, by the way. He was being gone on by, at the very least, the Puck, if not Puck and Enigma. Instead, he will smoke all the way towards his Wisdom Rune area. Naturally, he will want to stick around and grab said Wisdom Rune. You end up popping a smoke on the tower, I think, though. About to expire naturally anyways. Wraparound gank from Sasquatch finds Cello Mellow. Meanwhile, Puck's interacting with Sniper a little bit. Back over to Sasquatch. He cannot cancel the TP of Cello. Back to Whole City. He is stalking Polo, but Whole City lacks the damage. Polo has 1800 HP and 13 wand charges. He's not going to actually be able to solo kill the Sniper, I don't think. And as a result, we will see a trade of Wisdom Runes. Deno grabbing the bottom side one. Actually, the top side one. That's top side, but Lich grabbing the bottom side one, eastern end of the map.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm looking at Sonagod's items right now, and he needs more of them. He definitely needs more of them. He's going Butterfly into Blink into Force, it appears. He's running out of Courier right now. He's sending out the Secret Shop. He'll buy probably the Eagle Song for that. The Butterfly certainly will help with the Sniper and with the Bloodseeker. However, there's still a lot of magical damage that will not be dealt with that well. There's not going to be too many big stat items in terms of either HP or mana from the Intelligence. There's certainly a bit from the Manta, which will help, but all the spell damage could still be a major problem for Dusa for now. But again, I think prioritizing the evasion is a smart move for Sonic God. Back in the Roshan pit. It will be a dire side Roshan take. Again, entirely uncontested. Taken pretty fast at that. Aegis will be probably out of the way of Dark. He does have an inventory slot open, and he will grab it. Radiant even scanned it there at the end, but Polar Ass were too little, too late. Even if they wanted to be there, they certainly could not have been there in time at that point. So again, it is, just the standard macro move right now, as you grab that Aegis. Especially at the first when you begin to work on those outer towers. This tier 2 bottom most certainly will be forfeit, no doubt about it. We may potentially see an attempted trade for this top tier 2. However, I don't think Radiant will commit to a push. Maybe we'll get a little bit of chip damage, but that's all we're going to get. So at this point, you have two options. You got to go for the other outer towers, or you force it entirely. And we're going to see the riskier option. It's going to be fully forced bottom lane to the high ground. Now, this full commit will force Radiant back into their base. Lonely Stoner will be fine with backing out once they have to back out. And perhaps that's actually not even now. Mjon's still standing in the high ground, so is Dark. They actually wanted to take the entire tier 3 tower here. Radiants have no glyph, actually. It was already used. Which means potentially this could be a problem. Meteor Hammer will hit. The tower's about 1/3 HP right now, dropping rapidly. Everybody but Sonic God is here. Frost Shield will keep the tower a little bit healthy with the armor, but yeah, this tower is not long for life. It is just being slapped on down right now. Polo gets the last hit on Sniper. He'll hit the melee racks. Mjon has Meteor Hammer. He'll use it. It will not be cancelled in time. Backdoor has returned. Sonic God TP's back. And again, now saying, you know what? We want to force Sonic God back. We want Radiant as 5 in their base. Now we'll leave. We got this tower. It is dead. Now that Radiant are in their base as 5, we can play the sweep game. That's a beautiful smoke. The only problem is Radiant saw the smoke on this this observer ward. If that ward wasn't there, it would be a perfect opportunity to get some kills here. But with Radiant having an idea what's going on, it's a lot harder to get the kill. However, Rupture's there on Whole City anyway. So Hookshot's died for the phase shift. He'll jaunt all the way to the southwest. The distance traveled was so large that Rupture did not do damage. And again, Whole City will tip Jakku, despite being down by 5k at minute 25. It is the Whole City Classic. He's doing the kind of like the float like a butterfly, sting like a bee style. Problem is, Dire are not they're not dying to these bee stings. They are entirely fine right now. The wave is a little bit worse for wear, but the actual tower is dead once again at the hands of Polo. So that's 2 tier 2s down, 1 tier 3 down. Dire are aware of where Sonic God is. Hookshot in by Jakku. Stone Gaze committed. Sonic God will attempt to run away and perhaps TP. TP will be in time! A perfect move from Sonic God. That is a fraction of a second away from disaster there, and he played it perfectly, getting away from Jakku in time, and the only other heroes that were nearby were Sasquatch and Dark on the Veno and the Bloodseeker, respectively. They could not cancel that channel, and while Sonic God will live to fight another day, problem is that day is today, because once again we see Dire barreling it down the bottom wave. Notice, Whole City has cut the wave. This will be the only wave. However, Dire do not have that much to fear, as there is no Radiant side glyph. Mystic Snake will not kill it quite yet. We need a little bit more damage, perhaps a Puck Orb. Rupture will be there on Sonic God. Ravage will be there on the 4! Fantastic Ravage from M. John. Dark will BKB running forward. Coil is committed. Snap with the BKB of Dark about the stun from M. John. Chain Frost did a lot of damage. Blink in by Whole City. Jaunt out with the orb, of course. But again, it's already a dead range Rax. Nether Rax are 1/3 HP. Hookshot in by Jakku. Finds Cello Mellow. Cello the Force Staffed away. Bilski wants to run in, do whatever damage he can, but he's not tanky enough to survive, perhaps. He'll bring down 1 life of Dark at the cost of his own life. And now, Black Hole is there on Bloodseeker. Is there a cancel? No, there is not! The patience from inside of Polar Ass waiting until it was a perfect Black Hole. And they finally got it. They brought down Dark 100-0 twice. Bilski with the first life, and Black Hole with the second. Again, I mentioned it multiple times in the draft and in the earlier stages of the game. Polar Ass loved this kind of style. Back against the wall, pulling out the miracle team fight in somehow, some way. They did it. They killed full HP, BKB, #1 net worth Bloodseeker twice. Just the patience as well to wait for Ravage to be on cooldown, for Clockwork to be dead, and finally, at long last, actually use the Black Hole. I didn't think they had that in them, but they did. And suddenly, we have a game on our hands. We have an actual game on our hands. So the concern here is, if you are the Lonely Stoner, is there going to be another easy opportunity until next Roshan? And the answer is no. So in that case, unless Polar Ass make a macro blunder, either they smoke for a bad fight, or someone just feeds accidentally, then you're probably going to have to, run a bit of a sweep, do a bit of farming, and wait out for that second Aegis. And then at that point, you'll probably be the strongest you're going to be relative to Polar Ass all game, assuming the game stays competitive. And that will be with that second Aegis timing, with a cheese on top. That's when it'll be time to go. Because you have already some broken buildings, bottom lane, range racks already down, so you can, of course, re-engage for the melees. More likely the case will be after you grab the Aegis, perhaps they'll run down the middle lane. They'll go Rax mid to Rax bot if they have the opportunity. That'll be 2 full sets of the barracks. that tier 2 top is a little bit harder to break right now, just given it's positioned in a very easy spot for Radiant to defend. If Dire really want it, they can, set up camp over here, start, pushing in the top lane, pushing in the mid lane, and just, pressure it with Meteor Hammer and the Sniper. But more likely the case, they'll probably not prioritize it too hard. Over into the Dire side tri-camp, we see Whole City and Jakku have a bit of a do-si-do right now. Seems like everybody will be fine. Whole City has a TP if it is needed. Rupture on Sonagot, he used the Stone Gaze, and he's running away. He's relatively low on mana, but in comes Whole City and Filski, committing abilities. Doom is used on the Tide. Tide is very low. Chain Frost will bounce around. Black Hole committed. There on Dark. He's taking so much damage. He's brought down again. TP away by Polo will be successful. The Sasquatch on the Venom will fall. And so will the Tide, it appears. He has that little blue buff, but it will not matter at all. He's still dead on Tide. That's 3 dead, 2 cores, and a Veno. Again, pull their ass. They've pulled out the team fight combo. This is what we have been waiting for the classic polar ass Dota. And just like that, they've got a gold lead. They were down by upwards of 6k, up to almost 7k. And instead of now being down by 7k, they're up by 3k. That's a 10,000 gold swing in a matter of like 5 or 6 minutes. So a fantastic turnaround by Polar Ass. And if you're the Lonely Stoner, that's 2 big team fights lost in a row. You lost Dark in both of them, so this game is no longer easy. It's now a competitive game for sure, and Radiant have shown, Polar Ass have shown, hey, we have some major team fight threat here. You can very easily unleash the full combo, and again, the fact that Cello's been getting these good black holes off, with no BKB, with no Blink, into Bloodseeker, Clockwork, and Tide is incredibly impressive to me. I have been very impressed by Cello's play in this post-laning phase scenario, and even then, I thought he played the lanes pretty well as well. So this has been certainly a standout performance by the captain, Cello. So the problem now is, when is Roshan going to... Oh, that's a very, very, very late Roshan respawn time. That is, I think, like 2 minutes and 50 seconds respawn total, which is, again, nearly the maximum amount of time away from Roshan spawning. We could be anywhere from 8 minutes to 11 minutes, and it's going to spawn nearly at that 11-minute mark, which, again, if you're the Lonely Stoner, is not what you want. You want that second Roshan, and you want it now. You don't want to wait around for almost 3 extra minutes to grab this key objective that can allow you to once again perhaps win a team fight. Speaking of team fight, we'll see a bit of one breaking out bottom lane. Cello will lose his life just after I praised him. He has fed, though. You know what? We'll call it tanking the gang for the team. That is certainly some information you've obtained on the Enigma. With Black Hole on cooldown, it's not as bad if you die necessarily, but it will be Roshan time sooner rather than later. Mjon, he pokes his head in the Roshan pit like, hey guys, shouldn't Roshan be alive right now? And you know what? He should be alive. There's about like an 80-something% chance Roshan, something like an 87% chance of Roshan be alive the moment Mjon stuck his head on Tide into the pit, but nope. He's late today. He's late to his place of work. What can you do? He's now there, but too little too late. Bit of a split style game right now for the Lonely Stoner. They have Mjon playing top lane. They've got some heroes pushing in mid lane and heroes pushing in bottom lane. However, again, you see this sort of like line from like where I'm moving the camera here, where the side of the Dire have tried to play, but the problem is Polar Ass keep getting behind that line with the puck and with the Medusa, so they're still getting farm in terms of whether it be this sort of jungle here or say Doom in this jungle area over here. They're still finding farm despite Dire's best efforts. speaking of, it will be Roshan time. Roshan will head to the top lane. He will leave the building. And notice, 80 is already here. I think he's going to die for this one. Wait, there's no way he lives this, right? Gush, Chain Frost will be the counterplay. It only bounced around 2 times. Sonic arrives. Amjon is Ravage, hitting it onto Dire, Focus, Dusa. Dusa is out of mana, and now is out of life. Doom will come in from Filski, hitting on Sniper. Filski will TP, but it's been canceled by the Basher from Dark. It's an absolute disaster fight right now for Polar Ass. Question is, how bad can it be? Black Hole. It's on Bloodseeker. If they can kill him somehow right now. But no, he's got the BKB. Polo is brought down by the Doom from Filski. So it's currently a 1-for-1. 1 carry for 1 mid. It seemed like Polar Ass were about to hemorrhage a lot of kills there, but instead, it ends up being a relatively even 1-for-1. And again, sure you had to use a Black Hole, but Amjon had to use his Ravage. So both teams are relatively light on cooldowns. Gush comes in, hitting on Filski. Sasquatch and Jakku come in on the rendezvous from the south side. Dark is still lifestealing off creeps in the jungle. He's half HP currently. Back over to the main body of the team fight. Whole city looks to cook. Blink in by Filski. E-Blade on to Sasquatch's Venom. He'll use the Guardian Greaves. Jakku will go on in there, tanking Chain Frost with Amjon. Chain Frost is still bouncing around. Darkman's up. Ravage once again up for Amjon. Hitting on 4! A beautiful Ravage from the Tide of Amjon. Dark last hits Filski, getting a bit more life off of the body of the Doom. Puck is forced to jaunt away. Cello will get a successful TP off to the Fountain, but the problem is you also lose a Lich, and you also, more importantly, lose a Roshan. Wait, where's Roshan? Why? What? How'd he get here? Huh? Didn't he be here? So, let me get this right. So, Roshan went from here to the Twin Gate, went through the Twin Gate, all the way up here. He was doing a little bit of action in this area. Did he just not go to the pit? Did he then say, you know what? I don't want to be here. Let's go back through the Twin Gate again to the bottom lane. Into the pits? Was that the itinerary for Roshan? Did he plan on this? Either way, Roshan falls. Aegis to Bloodseeker of Dark. Cheese to the Sniper of Pol. I am baffled by Roshan today. Absolutely baffled. I am dazed and confused even. This is just unbelievable what Roshan is doing. And there have been a number of these very interesting, we'll call them Roshan interactions. I'm not sure if people necessarily know yet how to replicate them. If they do, I don't. But if nothing else, Roshan has become a little bit a little bit temperamental with the way he plays currently. Over to the Tormentor, Dark will grab it. Shard ends up going to Jakku on the Clockwork. Not a bad shard. Not necessarily a top-tier shard, but Jakku certainly will take it. The alternative would have been for the Veno, which is the latent toxicity, which, as far as I know, everybody thinks is bad but me. I think it's great. But everybody I expressed that opinion to seemed to disagree with me, so perhaps I'm wrong about that one. But I love it. Put it on Filski. BKB Piercing Stun. Once Shell gets a BKB Piercing Stun. Put it on Dusa. It's just a stun, but still. I mean, this is a nice ability. I'm pretty sure if you Manta on Sana as well, he'll stun himself with latent toxicity, so there's some fun to be had. Either way, though, we are back to our between fight farming. At this point, naturally, the Dire side want to break a lot more high ground. I mentioned earlier the mid to bot double racks play. There's already an exposed melee rack bottom. If you can get the right initiation, there is a lot of damage to be done. Megas is not on the table. At tier 2 remains in the top lane, so no Megas, but Again, 2 racks should suffice. If you really want more, if you win the fight, you can even go for tier 4s, but again, that's a bit of a high-risk play to do that. I would expect the double raxing, if all goes well, for the Lonely Stoner. For Polar Ass, again, is one more beautiful team fight. They've had 2 beautiful team fights so far. Can we get a third? Dark, thanks to Malphus, Stonegaze comes through from Sonic God. Oh no, it's only on Plague War. Perhaps got a little bit scared there from some kind of potential dire initiation from the south side. Regardless, Stonegaze is now on cooldown, and the racks are still under siege. Dark is hitting bottom lane, blink in by both Puck and Doom. Ravage will hit. They're on 2. Into one more Ravage. Puck and Doom both dodge, and then Phil's going to dash down by Dark. Hookshot in by Jakku. Cogsing away Sonagod. Did Puck just kill the wave? Puck is killing the wave right now. This is the problem. You're going to run out of creeps. Whole City once again goes in. Sasquatch, Jakku are on the way. Dark as well. They want to go on Puck. Meanwhile, there's still 2 siege units. So Radiant need to kill 2 creeps. Can they kill the creeps? That's the question of the day. If those 2 creeps die, the siege is over. Blink in by Dark. Missile on Cello Mellow. He's got a black hole. He's trying to use it, putting it off in time. He'll now buy back. Dark is half HP, but still has 2 lives and a BKB ready to go. 80. Puts down the Ice Fire. M. John has Meter Hammer, but in comes a hook shot once again on Enigma. If he dies, that'll be a dieback. He cannot Black Hole. That's a dieback on Enigma. Whole City will coil, I believe, on 4. But nobody dies. And Sonagod is losing his man fight. He's out of mana, and he's out of life. He's also, unfortunately, out of buybacks. He simply lacks the gold. So 2 key teamfight cogs are dead. No Black Hole, and no carry Medusa. Bottom racks have already fallen, and we will lose the middle racks very soon. However, Polar Ass still want to defend. They've got Doom online. It is that lowered cooldown from Octarine coming in handy right now, I am sure. Regardless, M. John will take the brunt of the attention by blinking right on top of Whole City, now walking away. T3 mid has fallen. Melee racks are under attack. 80. Uses the Frost Shield to try to delay the death, but it still will come. Range racks down. Melees are a few more hits from dying, and the melees are dead. 2 racks now taken by the Dire side. Coil onto both supports been caught. Diving tier 4 towers. Sasquatch to fall. Jakku will attempt to glimmer away. He will fail to do so, and the gem was fed. So you lose 2 kills, and you will lose that gem of True Sight. Certainly a little bit going back the way of Polar Ass. However, the main team fight most certainly was in favor of the Lonely Stoner. Bottom melees taken, mid racks taken, and 1 buyback forced. A very big win. Yeah, I guess there's actually 2 buybacks forced, because earlier in the team fight they used the Doom buyback as well, so it's 2 buybacks forced. Ay ay ay. There is still a buyback on Whole City, so if he gets caught, all is well, but again, there's a lack of Golden Medusa still. And of course, it's on cooldown for both Doom and Enigma, so there's 3 very, very good targets. Medusa, Enigma, or Doombringer to bring down if you are the side of the Lonely Stoner. This top tier 2 will be taken by Polar Ass, but will it be safe? Jakku will miss a hook shot on Whole City, dodged it with that phase shift. Ravage comes through, hitting only on 1, I believe. A bit of chaos right now. Abyssal on Whole City into another 3. Correction, 4, man. Ravage! Puck to fall. The trade for Sniper. Puck buys that Black Hole. They're on 2. 2 cores on the inside. They both get annihilated. A triple kill for Sonagod Sad Boy. And they want Jakku. They want the clockwork, and they'll certainly get that kill. That's 4 dead. A buyback forced out of Sniper in exchange for the buyback of Puck. But it's go time. It is time to punish. You've already lost your base. You say, you know what? If I can't have my base, you can't have yours either. It's time to go for the top racks. The only problem is there are buybacks. Bloodseeker and Clockwork both have their buybacks. Tide could have his. Radiants don't know he lacks the gold. As a result, you must still be a little bit careful on the side of Polar Ass. if you die without buybacks in the Dire base, you're probably losing the game still. As a result, the gains will be somewhat limited. They certainly gained a lot of gold, but the structural damage was not that high. Half of a top tower and a mid tier 2. I guess as well. I guess they also killed the tier 2 to open the team fight. So we'll call it 2.5 towers. Correction, 3.5 towers and some gold. So not bad, but I'm sure they wanted more from that. The more important part, though, is probably the gold swing. I mean, again, we were looking at about a 10,000 net worth lead for the Lonely Stoner going into that team fight. It's now at about net 0. It's less. See, it's 1k in favor of Polar Ass even. So that's 11,000, 12,000 net worth swing. That is absolutely wild. And this graph is just. This is a classic Polar Ass graph. Notice you have a bit of a lane loss. Things snowball. You bring it back. You throw. You bring it back. That's why I'm here. That is why I'm here right now. For this exact scenario. It happens a surprisingly high amount of times in Polar Ass games. More than it probably should. But at this point, it's no longer an isolated, oh, maybe it should or shouldn't happen. This is like a 3-4 year trend at this point, so. Yeah. We'll see a 3-man smoke from the side of the Lonely Stoner. I'm looking over at items right now. Notably, Radiant have 2 Ninja Gears. They've got one on Sanaga, they've got one on 80. I know some players in the DPC that I've talked to have called Ninja Gear the most broken item in the game. Radiant have 2. Dire did not manage to find one. Maybe they got unlucky on their neutral item selections. Regardless, they do not have one. Roshan, is that another? Wait a minute. That's another incredibly late Roshan respawn. It was nearly 3 minutes last time. It's once again nearly 3 full minutes. Last time was certainly bad for the Lonely Stoner. This time it's bad for Polar Ass. They're sitting in the Roshan pit. I'm sure they timed Roshan. They're like, wait a minute. We timed Roshan. Where's Roshan, guys? It's been 10.5 minutes. He should be alive right now. He's just not. He's just dead. He's not respawned. 80's sitting there like, come on, guys. Did we time the Roshan wrong? Did we screw it up? No, it's just Roshan is extremely habitually tardy today. He is just not showing up on time. He is a truant at this rate. He's going to get a call from the assistant principal to his parents. Speaking of Roshan, though, he finally woke up, finally showed up, and he once again will be absolutely slapped down. But because he took so much time to respawn, the Lonely Stoner have had time to begin moving towards the pits. There's a Sniper Illusion and a Tide running forward. Illusion on Illusion violence. Radiant hold the high ground. Dire do not see them. And looking at Radiant Vision, they see a little bit over in this area and this area. They know there's a lot of heroes in the vicinity, but they don't exactly know where the heroes are. They just know they're somewhere over here. If you're wondering, they're right here. Meanwhile, if you're looking at the Dire Vision, they see Medusa. They're seeing projectiles in the high ground, but other than Medusa, not too much is showing right now. So both teams are very tense. They know both teams are aware that both teams are here, but the exact orientation is the puzzle. Now Dire will see the Doom mid. This could be their opportunity to initiate. Those can be there in 15 seconds. However, that's more than 0 seconds. M-John blinks in. Could not find a Ravage. Blood right misses. The D-Ward comes through, so now it'll be Dire occupying the high ground. If Filsky does have the travel shoe, he can return to the fight right here, right now. Chain Frost will bounce around only twice, doing very little damage. Hookshot again is dodged by Whole City. Jakku cannot find the puck. Stonegaze committed into a 2-man Ravage, into another 2-man Ravage, a 3-man Ravage, canceling the black hole! Oh my! A beautiful job from M. John! And now Radiant will commit there. BKB is trying to fight. The Doom will be there on Filski, hitting Dark for a little bit. The Doom is ended! Polo is brought down over by Sonagod. So despite beautiful Ravages, it does not matter. Sonagod's out of mana. He's out of life. Sniper does not have buyback. Dusa and Doom both use theirs. Whole City will E-Blade onto Dark's Bloodseeker. He'll attempt the TP. It will be successful. Meanwhile, M. John will not be successful. He'll attempt to perhaps bring down the Lich on his way out, but his life certainly is forfeit. He'll get right-clicked down eventually. E-Blade comes in from Whole City. Meanwhile, nothing. It's simply dead. It's simply dead dire heroes. And again, Radiant had to use 2 key buybacks, one on Filski, one on Sonagod. And as a result, it's once again time to remaneuver. Hookshots dodged by Whole City for the upteenth time this game. Now M. John buys back into the game. Over to the bottom lane, Radiant will now occupy this high ground, but they find Dark! They find Dark! He's doomed! He cannot run away, and neither can Sasquatch. They are both dead. They've both got a buyback. But that is a major win for Polar Ass. Not only do they claim 2 pivotal kills, they will claim the 3rd Roshan of the game, the Aegis, the Cheese, and a free Aghanim Scepter upgrade. Those are the spoils. A big, big win there. Perhaps both will go the direction of Sonagod, get that Aghanim's Mystic Snake stun, as well as the secondary life. Hell, let's give them all 3 items. Screw it. Give them everything. KU style. Let's give them all the items. Whew. And yep, it will be everything. Okay, never mind, no cheese. So 2 items, 2 Sonagod, the Aegis, and the Ags. The cheese going, of course, to our man Lich. It might be temporary, he might pass it over to another core later, but what can you do? So Radiant won the key team fight. They got the 2 lives for Dusa, but remember, to win that team fight, they had to use some key buybacks. They had to use the one on Filski, and they had to use the one on Sonagod. So despite being at the advantage for the next team fight, there is potentially room to throw the game still. If you overextend on the dire side high ground, you die back on Dusa, you die back on Doom, suddenly it goes back the other way once again. So it's just a truly raucous showdown right now, where either team is still in a position to win. At this point, Dota Plus is in favor of Polar Ass. 66 to 34, but 34 is a very large number. Sure, it's not quite 100%, but it's much larger than 0. 5-man smoke up by the Lonely Stoner. I do not believe the Radiant of Polar Ass are aware. Rocket Flare is scouting. Perhaps they can do a little bit of information from that, the direction of the Rocket Flare, not that it seems to matter. Jakku finds 80 anyways. Ruptured, Hookshot are both committed. Lich will certainly... Well, never mind. We're seeing a fight break on the north side. Ravage onto 2 heroes. Filski will BKB to dodge it, but Cello is dead. So no Enigma in the team fight. Filski is moving up and down all around. Getting Doom on multiple targets. Now he's brought down by Sasquatch. Velvet trade. Again, it's for Sasquatch. Dark actively BKB'd. He has one more BKB ready to go if he wants to refresh. However, it seems like Sonagod still wants to stand his ground at the high ground. He's out of mana. He will lose 1 life here, but Hookshot also there on 80. So Aegis lost, and he's going to return to fight a Medusa, but again, you don't have BKB, you don't have Aegis, and you don't have mana! That's gonna be a dieback on Sonagod! So Doom dead, no buyback. Medusa dead, no buyback. Enigma dead, no buyback. That's almost certainly going to be the game, unless somehow, someway, Puck and Lich can defend 2v3. Correction, 2v4. Sniper has just brought that into the game. M-John will move in for Lich. Lich uses Icefire and Chain Frost. Sasquatch buys back. Cello buys back. He just got enough gold on Cello Mellow, so Jakku is very low under the tier 4 tower. He'll use the cogs. Whole City goes in, dodging Dark Abyssal Blade combination. Orb forward hits a little bit on Jakku, but again, he's blinking to the south side on Buck. M. John gets E Blade. He's half HP, still standing his ground. The tier 4 will get right click down. Oh, the black hole! It's beautiful! Is it beautiful enough, though? It's so much damage on Tidehunter, but Bloodseeker, his life stealing up. He'll right click down Cello. Whole City gets the trade, but look at Dark. It's just too strong right now. Lich goes in. With a Hex! Oh, the Hex on Puck. That will be one life lost. He buys back on Whole City again. We're fighting 2v4. Coil on 2. Sniper and Bloodseeker, the 2 targets. Whole City will jaunt. He's still trying. But look at the throne. Look at the Lich. The Lich is dead. That is a dieback. Throne. Half HP. X on Whole City. He'll phase shift. He'll orb. Perhaps he'll jaunt. But the throne is just so injured. It's being focused. It'll be dead. So will Whole City. And that'll be game 1. Head the direction of the Lonely Stoner. Ooh. A classic polar ass game from front to back. Ooh. A absolutely beautiful game of Dota 2. I'm gonna share the lobby because I hosted it today. What? That was, if nothing else, an entertaining Dota game. This is some lads Dota, baby. This is what you love to see. This is the exact thing you tune into lads to get. You know? It's some pretty good Dota players playing some pretty entertaining Dota. You love to see it. Some of the finest in NA amateur action, both good and bad. Whew, beautiful game 1 though. I need some more water. I need to save my throat a little bit. I'm gonna cut to a break. We'll see you again for game 2 of Polar Ass versus the Lonely Stoner pretty soon.
team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Clockwork!
'Dire team pick.
Red Rider!
10 seconds remaining.
'Greetings and salutations, Dota fans! I am back from my break. I have been to the bathroom, I have gotten water, and I got some more water because it's very, very hot outside. It's very, very hot in this room. But one other thing that's hot is the Dota on this fine
5
evening.
seconds remaining.
Game 1 between the Lonely Stoner and Polar Ass certainly went the distance. Certainly was a fantastic game. Polar Ass have lost their first game of the season. They've now moved down to 2-1.
Team ban.
Meanwhile, defending champion Dark, two-time champions M. John and Sasquatch move up to 1-0. Certainly some fireworks in game number 1. Seems like we might have some more in game number 2 because we're in a very, very similar draft.
5 seconds.
We do have Undying, Techies, Pugna, Spearbreaker, first phase bans, 5-pick Doombringer once again for who else but Filski,
Team ban.
6-7 Clock Bat, 8 Venom, and we are now into the second phase of bans.
Dire team ban.
I am excited though for game number 2. I like casting Batrider. I don't know why. I don't even know why I enjoy casting Batrider. I just do. It's one of those heroes that are
Radiant team
kind of iconic in a Dota sense. at the very least for me, because when I really started to care about Pro Dota, Batrider was one of, if not the best hero in the game at the time. So a lot of teams were putting a lot of priority on Batrider. It's like, all right, first phase pick, first phase ban. That kind of like sat with me forever. I don't know why. The funny part though is just off of me saying teams are prioritizing Batrider, it can mean like 6 different periods of Dota history. It is referring to 2013 though, 6.78 in particular, patch wise. I do have a very special guest coming on right now though. Welcome to the broadcast. It's a man of many titles, but this time I'm just gonna say it is League of Lads top 3 finisher, Logical Dota. How are you in this fine evening?
Yeah, let's try to get top 3. I'm doing great, bro. Happy to be here.
All right.
One of my favorite pastimes watching Dark Dota lose.
Well, I got some bad news for you then, because he
Game
has
one?
not lost today. He's only won today.
Yeah, they're just pretty good. I've been seeing. They've been. I don't know if they've been scrimming, but I see that they like just queue matchmaking as 5 men pretty often, getting their practice in.
That is one way to do it. Just queue it up into NA servers. Maybe you'll get 5Ks. Maybe you'll get pro players. Maybe you'll get another lads team. You never know.
Yeah, I think they're also like a little bit lower MR than like if you have a stack of 7Ks, then the games get really imbalanced. But I think like them 5 stacking as a team, they're honestly going to get pretty like relatively even games. That's not important, but yeah.
It's something that I'm sure a lot of the players in this league, both of us included, can relate to though, because we we know about the NA unranked pub stacking. I'm not sure how much you caught at game one, but did you get to see game one?
I was watching it on and off. I saw at the very end that they were losing, and then they ended up clutching it. And yeah, saw that Dark was on Bloodseeker. I like saw the draft. I watched a little bit of the game, but I didn't watch everything that happened, and I missed like the first 25 minutes.
Yeah, some Dota 2 happened. It was good.
That's a pretty devious Slark pick. They're gonna get a counter pick on Nouns. But I mean, most likely one of those heroes is gonna have to be a core hero, and I assume it's gonna be in the off lane. I haven't seen Polo play much Batrider. If you don't play Batrider, then you might just run it. But I think that hero does require a little bit of finesse, so I'm not sure how good Polo will be on it. If you get an easy matchup, then it's not too bad. I kind of expect that one of these heroes is gonna be offlane though, and Slark has a really good matchup into all these heroes. I guess it's like the Batrider matchup isn't so good anymore. I kind of don't think that Mjon's gonna play Batrider though, because that hero is like way more farm based, and that hero like takes a while. You have to actually be really patient to play core Batrider. That's one thing that I've learned watching Lil Nick play that hero is like you're kind of useless for a while, especially if you got like this Octarine BKB build where you're kind of playing for 25 and just like capture people
10 seconds remaining.
with the 15 talent. It's
5 seconds
I like the
remaining.
Slark pick.
I like the Knicks pick as well. I think Polar has done a very good job of drafting into this Batrider. I mean, maybe Slark isn't as much of a counter to Batrider as he was historically, but certainly is a counter, and certainly so is Nyx.
Yeah. I think this pick right now for Nouns is gonna be pretty important. There's a decent Bloodseeker's surely Bloodseeker's taken out. Um Morphling, that hero's crazy. It's a pretty good pick for it right now.
I'm a little bit
I don't know.
surprised that actually Morphling has not been either banned or picked, considering he's like one of the best free carriers in the game right now. He's a really good hero.
Yeah, I think it's different. It's the way the hero has always been. I've never really worried about anyone playing the anti-mage, which is pretty risky, but it's a decent matchup against Doom, and he's most likely going to be laning against Nyx Assassin, so that's good. His lane should be pretty good. Yeah, about Morphling though, I think that that hero's a little bit high skill. I mean, it's a little bit lower skill these days, just because of how strong it is.
Radiant team ban.
Um, the Morphling though, it's really easy to just like get caught out and die accidentally, and that can kind of ruin games. Like make them more back and forth compared to easier to play carries like an Ursa or something. So yeah, I think that's kind of why you see Morphling less. I personally have always,
10 seconds.
I've like never picked it for myself, and I've never really like even contested the hero in lads
5
games.
seconds remaining. Team
I think this patch though, it's like it's just too broken to completely ignore.
Speaking of broken heroes too possible to ignore, it's Shadow Demon banned out. A little surprised that SD was not either picked or banned earlier. It was tested earlier last game, lasted all the way into the last ban phase this game.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Shadow Demon. Yeah, I don't think that hero is that insanely broken, but it is just like very good, especially if any of your heroes knows, or if any of your players know how to play. I mean, we like picked it, I think in our series. The hero's like kind of weird though. Like you'll see it ignored in a lot of these pro games or like picks later on. I think that's. I don't think that's too big of a deal. It's a good ban though, of course. You got anti mage. It's really obnoxious for him to play against Shadow Demon. Like mostly in the early game, but also later on.
We are digging deep into the reserve time at this point. Polar Ass have the most important pick of the draft right now, this 23 pick, which, again, they're probably grabbing a mid laner and they're picking a blind, potentially. It could be a number of different heroes mid, so this is scary.
Radiant team
I
pick.
think it'll most likely be a mid hero, right? Wind Ranger. Well, that's a. I don't know how much I like it. Mostly because I don't think I've ever seen a whole play it. Actually, I guess it is kind of the type of hero that I would expect him to just be level 25 on randomly.
To be fair, he's level 25 on probably 40 heroes. He
Yeah,
plays a
like kind
lot of
of
Dota. We have about 40 seconds of reserve time left for Radiant. Any picks that come to mind as counter picks or no?
I mean, yeah, assuming they're not gonna put the bat mid. I kind of think they will put the bat mid, to be honest, and they should try to. They could pick Viper right now. I don't know. Maybe this is like too. Maybe it's a little bit too schizo, but it's a really good matchup against Slark, and it's good against really good against Slark in the lane, and out of the lane also. It's really good. I don't know though. Maybe they're just gonna pick a Polo hero.
We did see him play a pole hero last game in the mid sniper. It's
Is
not
that a
be
Polo?
it'll be the mid. Apparently, it is. He's playing mid Lena, which is also sniper.
Yeah. That hero, I think he'll probably go for spells this game. I guess it's a little bit annoying against the Nyx assassin, but that hero is a lot better as a spellcaster with the Souls nerf, Fire Souls nerf. Plural, I guess. It got hit a couple times.
Yeah, and especially in a game like this where there are a lot of good targets to use spells on. A little bit hard to do right clicks against. Again, Slark, you can certainly destroy a lot of your projectiles. Windrunner, who has 100% evasion, so probably a magic build. Just lay down your spells even during Shadow Dance, do some damage through that potentially. So there's some options here.
Yeah, you actually that hero does way too much damage with spells. Honestly, it's like you have the shard that got buffed. The axe is really good. That hero just like kept getting buffed as a spellcaster. It's pretty crazy.
Is there still AoE Laguna Blade somewhere in the game or no?
Nah,
That would have been the Slark counter. It's like, all right, you want to use Shadow Dance? Zap, 1,000 damage. AoE, you're dead.
I forgot that was in the game. To be honest, I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, nobody ever bought it. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean it was like a weird shard for a while.
At the time, the right click Lena was in vogue, so it's like, all right, well,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do? Buying the shard, you know? We got other things to buy, like boots of travel. And
I think that was a little bit before even, but Lena was just like bad back then, so no one cared about it or remembered it.
I remember the Laguna Blade
Did you
shard.
play it? Why do you
No,
remember that?
I just
So
I remember Weird Dota things.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of The Lonely Stoner, aka Nouns Test, aka we don't really know yet. This is a Sasquatch Dark team taking on Polar as game 1 certainly went the distance. It was a fantastic game. It went to, I believe, 54 minutes. Something like 7 or 8 lead changes in the game. This game, we are at minute 0. It's 0 net worth lead our direction, but it's a fresh slate. My name is Badger. I'm now joined by the one, the only logical Dota 2, and hopefully we'll be in for a pretty good game number 2.
Lonely Stoner is a pretty funny name. When me, Jakku, and Dark would play ability draft, me and Dark would just play Day and Night by Kid Cudi on the bot, and Jakku just like doesn't like the song for some reason. I don't know if it's because he thinks it's overplayed or if he just doesn't like it straight up. And yeah, so then we just our humor is pretty stupid. So
I think
like I
Jakku
said,
is
the
dead,
Lonely
by the way.
Stoner.
Speaking of Jakku, I think he's just
Oh
dead.
yeah, he's also really stupid. Speaking of things that are really stupid, Jakku's dying.
First blood goes to Sonic as well. Got a permanent agility stack right off the board. It's a fantastic start for Polar Ass. That's some lore I did not know. I didn't know Dark had such specific music preferences with popular songs. I should say one popular song, but still. Look at Sasquatch. He's got this this modern flame break first tech. You like it or do you dislike it?
Yeah, I mean it's for sure good. If you're playing Sup Bat Rider, it's like a necessity almost. I think there's one guy Q who would go 404 Bat on Sup, and I don't know what the fuck he did level 1. To be honest, that's like yeah, your hero is just really useless without it.
I was
The
gonna
point is
say
not
he
even
doesn't.
like,
He doesn't do level. Wait, whoa! Do you see Polo? He denied the range creep into power shot.
yeah, this guy's different. Alternatively, Hull City sucks, but take your pick.
That's a lads champion whole city to you, logical Dota.
Sure.
Something me and you
Guys
could not
sitting under the
accomplish.
tower. Yeah.
Wait, were you also double eliminated by No, you weren't, because you only got
No,
single eliminated by them.
Yeah. I can't talk shit. That guy's a monster sitting under the tower, waiting for his teammates to come to the lane.
Listen, a win's a win, right?
Sure.
We saw Jakku sidestep the Gale top lane, but any interesting lanes you should be looking at, or is it just some farming in store here?
I mean, back when like Lina was a good mid hero, which was even before it was what's it called, picked as a carry, Windranger would be one of the better lanes against it. Windranger was like kind of has been a bad hero since it was universal though, so I think mid is something to watch. It's like pretty skill based. It's not super free.
Well, bottom lane, 2-man Impale from Cello breaks up the initiation. However, both Cello and Filsky are not doing well mana-wise. Cello is incredibly low on HP, and last hit will go to Dark. A lot of blood grenades flew around in that team fight, but again, that's now a 1-for-1 kill score-wise. Both carries claiming 1 kill this game. Meanwhile, top lane, what's going on? Top battery assault on Sonic. Speaking of carries, he's fighting to the death, and he'll die to M-John. However, the trade will be for Jakku, but in comes Big Bad M-John. He needs, I think, 2 more last hits. There's 1. And there's 2. Shri on the floor. Not even eaten by M-John, apparently. Now, what just... He quietly bladed the Ironwood Shri. Not quite sure what he's doing on that one, but regardless, 2 kills for M-John.
He already had a Tango gone, I guess.
You, like, Mystic the Tango there? This is fascinating.
No, he already had one going on, right?
I swear, he ate one right after the Ironwood branch came down.
I see. Yeah, never mind. Then they probably just like didn't think about it.
What can you do?
Oh, crap.
Wait a minute, I hear battery assault. Over to 80, he's being gone up by Jakku. Jakku is a blood grenade, but... Yeah, Veno is indeed a universal soldier. As a result, he has a lot of damage, and he's quite... Wait, he only has 4 damage? Yeah, he's still quite tanky.
I mean, look at his inventory. He's got 0 stats.
Fair. Let's throw in 150 gold branch, add 13 billion damage, problem solved. Well, pounce in, top lane by Sonagod, M-John turn. Sonagod will take a moderate amount of damage. He's got 3 stick charges ready to go, sidesteps the Star Breaker, and now gets away from M-John and Jakku. But again, that's a lot of damage taken. M-John's apparently not done. Hammer forward, diving the tower. Jakku has Battery Assault in 8 more seconds, therefore Sonic God will still fight this out. M-John tanks damage from the Veno. Veno's now just running back away again, and it's everybody injured, no one dies. You were saying?
Yeah, I guess this Dawnbreaker, with the way that they like pick 3 flex heroes kind of on Lonely Stoner, then Dawnbreaker's probably the best one to send offlane into the Slark, because this hero just does so much damage that the Slark lane isn't actually too bad. I think like mid game, then what's it called? Then Slark kind of owns, but not yet.
Yeah, right now M-John's is popping off right now. 3-0. He almost has we're at the point now where his number of last hits is not far from his number of kills. 11 last hits, 3 kills.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because I was just hearing AV1 talk about a game where the same thing happened with Parker, but it's because he got first blood minute 0, and then he what's it called? He died. He TP'd back to lane. He died again, and then he TP'd back to lane, and then he smoked back to lane, and then he died, and then he TP'd and then died, and then smoked and then died.
That's more like deaths, like similar to last hit, so that's different than kills.
No, but he had 1 kill and 1 last hit.
Oh no.
So that's the opposite end, where you're not owning.
You're saying, I mean, obviously top lane Sonic God's being gone on, he's got the Pouncil, end up dying to the Rocket Flare of Jakku. Obviously Parker, is a big last-hitting enthusiast. He's known for the 7k at 11 meme for a reason, but he also is known for one other thing, and that is sometimes tilting and dying. So what can you do?
He still wins, though. He still won that game also, which is just beyond me, but he's different.
Now, Parker might just be the most interesting carry player in the world, in that the gap between his high and his low has to be the biggest gap in the pro scene right now, right? Where like him at his best, maybe the best carry in the world. Him at his worst, get him out of the lobby.
Yeah, something like that.
I've seen some Parker games. I've seen some Parker games. Over to the bottom rune, Impale on Polo. The rune will spawn top. Ends up becoming a regen rune, so seems like Lena will eventually grab that one. Or to mid lane again. Whole City's going up to focus fire. Committed on Polo. Polo's half HP. Whole City's half HP. Cello has Impale in right now. Hitting it on both Lena and Clockwork. Power shot in. Polo is out. The rune's still on the floor. Jakku runs in. He runs back. He wants the rune for himself now. And he will get it, of course. But interesting fight middle lane. I haven't watched that much Beast Coast. Is he like, has he solved his late game throw tendencies yet?
Well, I mean, I don't know if he throws that much, but he does do a lot of like really risky stuff late game. It generally works out though. I mean, they're doing pretty well. They're like top 8, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're top 8.
Maybe it's like just him being around these veteran like Beast Coast players. I've seen many a Pro Series game firsthands of Parker being on like 4 different teams and doing some wild and crazy stuff, and then losing. And the Twitch chat calling it rigged. I've seen it a lot. What can you do? Over to bottom lane, Filsky appears to be in danger. Correction, he's got no mana, but he takes no damage, so he's just there still. I was like, oh, he's got no mana. He's under Flame Break. He's in danger. No, he's got a Vanguard. He's fine.
Yeah, I mean, he's not gonna die. He's on. I mean, he's doing pretty well. I guess that's just Doom. Filsky's also really good at it, obviously.
Yeah, they 5-picked it last game for him, and he was #1 net worth at 10 before even the Midas came out. And again, they once again 5-picked it, and he's #1 net worth at 8. So he's just a very good Doom player. I wouldn't be all that shocked if teams just first phase ban Doom against him soon.
Yeah, I mean, that hero's just obnoxious. They like got the counter pick also. He's like laning with one of the worst 4 heroes in the lane. He's still just doing completely fine.
You figure at a certain point, just ban it. Over to top lane, meanwhile, we see Sonic God inside the cogs. Impale comes in. Solar Guarding is canceled by the carapace of Cello Mello, but in come both middle laners. Polo will tank a focus fire. Whole City's manning on up under the tower. Radiant want vengeance for their slain Lina. Problem is Dire still have 4 heroes. Sonagas died in tower for Jakku. He's out of spells. However, Evjan still died to the power shot. Jakku is going to escape. He will survive, but it's 2 kills for Polar as certainly is a win. And we are at 5-5 kill score now.
Yeah, they're doing pretty good. This is a nice idea to move the Wind Ranger to the top lane. I mean, that's like the main thing. If you pick a hero that's good, like either after the laning phase or like mid game, if you like mess up the lane, then like this, then you want to just protect your hero as much as possible. That's what bringing Windrunner top does. I mean, honestly, like a minute ago, I was thinking that Dark's probably just gonna carry this game. Looking at the net now, I'm not so sure.
Or to the bottom lane, speaking of Dark, he's just hitting. He's not actually doing anything. He's just slowly. I guess that's just Sasquatch arriving. Lasso is there on Doom. Doom is eventually going to die. It took a lot of time. I'm not sure if that was worth it, but Dark got the kill. I think he missed like 2 or 3 last hits for that, but you know what? He sent a message.
Sure.
Had a lot of very colorful all chat today. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but
I can believe that.
it's very. We saw some colorful all chat game 1. Saw some colorful all chat game 2, and both teams are consenting to whatever the hell kind of verbal diarrhea we've got here. But yeah, there's a lot of fun going on. They're having fun right now.
For sure, for sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This is. I mean, there's no actual bad blood between these 2 stacks, right? It's just just bit of friendly banter, friendly rivalry there, right?
I don't think Mjon means anything that he says, but it's I mean, I don't know if they like each other, but I don't think he has any ill will. That's what I assume is the crux of it, right? It's like Mjon Whole City or something. No, Mjon Sun God.
No, I mean, Whole City and Dark obviously teammates last season, but I'm not entirely sure they actually like each other. I'm not sure anyone on that team actually liked each other, to be honest, other than maybe like the Xerioscape Garda Bingu triangle at most.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good to be this good.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Like, I still can't believe that team, man, internally did not implode at any points. I'm not sure if you ever watched some of the player comms, but they were just yelling at each other. Just one, lads. Just one, lads. I could have prevented this, I could have.
Yeah,
So could
likewise.
you. So could you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over to mid lane with double damage of Windrunner, just playing some dotes. We see Dark playing some dotes. Seems like mid lane's where the action is, though, unless... There just no defense here?
I mean, it's pretty obnoxious to go into player boards, and this Wind Ranger is kind of strong. Where's Lina?
Hook shot in by Jakku into the Solar Guardian, but it's cancelled again by Cello Mello. Sasquatch arrives. He's got the lasso, but well, he's got a Lina as well. Problem is, Checkle Shot comes in from Whole City, hitting on 2. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far, and the tower was still last hit by Agent 07. So it is a win for Polar Ass.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well. Can you check on the Lina for a second? Or Midas by Mjon? I'm kind of with it. Yeah, Polo's like, he's kind of weak. I hope he buys the shard like ASAP instead of buying these bots. Getting the shard early is like so insane, to be honest. You just get 140 damage on all your spells.
R.I.P. Cello Mello. Doom is there onto the anti-mage. He weighed out the counter spell for Filski. Problem is, Dark is just walking away, apparently. I don't think he's going to end up taking down.
On Doom. Normally you see people get it kind of early, I think.
He has a 4-4-0 enthusiast, and he's an enthusiast of Scorched Earth right now, doing a lot of AoE damage. Problem is, oh, there's the damage. I was gonna say, how do you finish the kill? The answer is, yeah, it is Whole City. 80 claims 1 kill, Whole City claims another. There's some more all chat in the all chats.
I don't even know what that means.
It feels good to be this
I don't think it means anything. I think it just.
I mean, he like
letters.
slammed his keyboard, yeah, but I don't know what his angle is with that one.
Because, yeah, as far as I know, there was no involvement of Sark in the team fight. He's just having a good
For
time
sure.
right now.
Yeah, he did. I don't even think anything happened to him. I think he was just watching.
And he probably missed the last hit or 2 just to all chat. I'm not even sure. Just some gibberish.
No, yeah, he just like slammed his keyboard. He's just hitting buttons on the keyboard. I don't think there's any meaning.
That's what we have to do though. We have to find the deeper meaning in the randomly generated gibberish. Look at Sonagod though. He's ready for the Wisdom Rune. This is some evil tech here from Sonagod.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, normally you don't want to be using like normally you don't want to be doing this on your carry. I think it's kind of okay though.
Ooh, good hook shot on Shallow Mel. I caught him invis, and it'll bring him down. Power shot came in from All City, but that is simply an angry power shot into the void. However, if they get a counter, correction, it won't be a counter kill, it'll be a second kill on Filsky if they get a lasso will be there on Whole City into the LSA from Polo. Laguna to fall, and they'll bring down the winner. So, Whole City has saved his teammate Filsky, but at the cost of his own life. That's 2 dead, 1 Nyx, 1 wind. Another win there for the Radiant side.
Okay, I mean, pretty good. They're consolidating unannounced test. He has Battle Fury, right? Yeah, okay. All right. He's kind of poor, but can. I mean, that just happens. Sometimes you're just poor, and then you gotta just be poor and stay strong for the whole game.
It's one of those games where it's okay if you're poor if everyone else but Doom is poorer than you, right? I mean, he's still number 2 net worth right now. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, the Slark's not doing too bad. I wouldn't necessarily say that Slark is poor. Slark could certainly be richer. His lane did not go phenomenal. Oh, actually, Slark is not poor. But, I mean, Slark still has good matchups against like all of the heroes, or like close to all the heroes. If he gets some money, then the Slark is going to be a problem.
It feels good to be this good.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, we've got an Octarine core. That feels incredibly early, but he's got it.
I mean, it's not too. I remember. I mean, it kind of like shifted my whole view, but I remember there was one game where 23 Savage went no Midas Octarine core. He had a minute 10.
That's fast.
Oh!
Over the top lane, Shadow Dance
Oh.
from Sonagod. Lasso is available in 3 more seconds. Slark. Well, we'll get hook shotted by Jakku, Mana Void, and Lasso are all committed, but they'll bring down the Slark. Impale, I believe, is on 4, but it seems not to matter because Radiant have already gotten 1. They want more kills to follow. 80 and Whole City are in the fight, but they're now stepping away from said fights. It's simply a Slark dead. Power shot will hit on only 1. Wait a minute. Focus fire into Shackle shot. Lands on the tree. Jakku is low. And now he's dead. And now, well, Polo cannot get through the cogs, so that'll be the end of our fight, it appears. Or, wait a minute. That's a wraparound smoke. They're not done yet. Slark's respawning. He's TPing top lane. Lina TP's away. This could be a disaster. Dark blinks away. He should be fine. Mjon will certainly not be so lucky. Atos cancels that TP. Cello's Mind Flare got the kill.
Mjon's build looks kind of goofy, but I think it's not that bad, to be honest. I'm kind of a fan of this. I think more people should do this, where you just like buy a Midas. It's like I think it's like seen as a tilt thing, so it's kind of looked down upon. But honestly, I don't think it's that bad. People even do it in like pro games. If you're like behind on carry, they'll just buy Midas. Ramsey just buys Midas on Terrorblade every single game, which I don't know why, but I assume it's for a similar reason.
Nice item, you know, gives attack speed, gives XP, obviously reliable gold as well. So there's always things to say about our good friend the Hand of Midas. Atos on the Polo. Hookshot comes into counter response from Jakku. Solar Guardian this time will not get canceled by the Carapace, and Whole City is dead. 80 will get slowed by Rocket Flare. In comes Sasquatch, but Sasquatch has bit off more than he can chew. One more kill for Cello Mello. I think Sark got the Adi. Do you need to get the kill for the Adi stack?
Oh god, I should know this. I don't think so. I think you just need an assist.
Yes, he has to be.
And
He only has 1 kill, so he's got 4 stacks. He has to be.
Yeah, I think you need to be in range and have your E applied to them, and be an assister.
He is an assister. He's been involved in 4 kills. He's got 4 stacks. The math adds up logical.
Dark Dote picks up a kill. Does not get pounced, notably.
He's just doing some Dark Dote stuff right now, just TPing back to his T1 tower, and his team's on the rendezvous. Everyone but Clockwork is coming, but so is Agent 07. He gets to the Radiant Tri-Camp, sees Dark, walks... Or maybe he didn't see Dark. Either way, he walks away from Dark.
He must have seen him, right? That was a ward? Or is it Sentry?
Oh, yeah, that's a ward. You're right. He absolutely saw him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to start on AM without the Black Mirror because you can reflect anything.
Well, a much easier target will be Sasquatch, who is now dead.
They're they're kind of getting what they need on Nouns, but this game just looks a lot better for Polar S. Oh,
Well,
he
Gale
missed.
dodged by MJ. We'll call it dodge. We'll be generous. We'll call it a dodge.
Yeah, I mean that spell's hard to hit. I can't lie. That spell is deceptively difficult.
Sometimes you expect the enemy to juke as well, and it's walking a straight line. It's like, oh, great. I've outthought myself.
Yeah, that's true. Hold is kind of poor actually. I didn't realize it doesn't have his maelstrom yet. I guess it's like honestly maybe this is on the Atos before the maelstrom. What I like on Windranger now is just buying like a crown or two and then going into the maelstrom and then finishing the Atos after. Because I think he could be a lot more farmed with how strong he is. But he's just hasn't had the maelstrom for a little while, so it's kind of hard to hit creeps, even if you like have a lot of them out.
Radiant are scanning.
Apparently, Dota Plus is heavily in favor of Polar Ass right now, giving about 75% chance to win, despite only having a 2,000 net worth lead. And maybe it's the reason why. Sonagod goes in for Polo, will Dark Pack off the LSA stun. Talvance is committed. Sonagod will not overextend,
Okay.
saying, you know what? This kill's not worth my death. I will leave.
Okay, I mean, I guess I can kind of see it. I mean, he'd like farm some stacks, I guess. Lena's so close to base, though, it doesn't really take a whole lot.
Blink Lasso in the Solar Guardian. Filski is in some
This is
danger.
crazy.
Will Doom the Dawnbreaker. Hookshot is blocked by Cello, Mellow, and Sonagod. Filski is dead. The trade will be for the Clockwork of Jakku, but in comes Soul City. Find a kill on M-Bounce. 2 for 1 so far. Sasquatch TP's away. It will not. Christian, it will be successful, but Polo dies the whole city anyway, so it's 3 kills from side of Polar as they bring down 2 cores, and of course our man Jakku. So it's no doubt about it a win for Polar Ass.
That was just really deep. I mean, the way that they executed it was kind of interesting with the Lena TP, but I was really surprised when they went on that with just like the blink lasso into Dawnbreaker, because you're just missing so much damage to kill a Giga target like they do. Yeah, maybe if the Lena was like already there and smoked up with them, that could have been like a clean. I mean, honestly, even then, I'm kind of not sure. This guy's so much health. He's 2,800 health. I mean, either way, I think it was just so kind of overzealous. I like that they're trying to do stuff though, and I mean, Dark was not in that at all, so that's space for him.
The only concern, though, is Dark is really the only farmed core right now on this Radiant side. Meanwhile, Polar Ass have 3 pretty farmed cores. Agent 07 has recovered his game. Filski is incredibly farmed, and Sonagod's also quite farmed.
Yeah, Dark's. Yeah, I mean, he's just gonna have to carry this game. He's gonna be the only core pretty much. Dawnbreaker is not gonna scale with the build that Mjon has went, and Polo is just, yeah, as you said, kind of a little bit poor. Polo can recover pretty easily, I think, with like 1 or 2 good fights. It's of course it's up to the Lonely Stoner to get there or to actually like take a good fight. I don't think they should be too concerned about the net worth distribution though. I mean, the bigger thing I think they have to worry about is like Dark needs a lot of items, and I don't even know what items he wants. I mean, obviously you're gonna buy a Battle Fury and a Manta. He's got Basher keyed, which is probably correct. I mean, he probably just needs an Abyssal. It's like, I don't even know though. You might need a Lincoln's at some point. For
Well,
Doom.
Mjon arrived, but Mjon will certainly get punished for that. I was looking at Radiant Vision during that. I was like, oh, it's Dark. Mjon just pops up like, wait a minute. He's in danger.
Yeah. Mjon can do that sometimes. That was probably not wise. I think Mjon doesn't really value his own game too much, no matter what role he's playing. Unless he's like, nah, yeah, literally no matter what role he's playing, I think he'll always be more sacrificial. So there, he's like, yeah, whatever. I'll go. If I die, I die. That's like pick Manegus.
Head of the way of Sonagod. He's ready to fight. He's got the Ags, he's got the Diffu, he's got the Echo. He's ready to do a lot of damage right now. 2 lives in hand. It's going to be quite hard to remove his life from the game right now.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is
The good thing is they do have a lot of damage on now. Like they can always kill someone. That's one of the nice things about Lina is that it's like it's so much damage, even if your hero's behind. And they also have like I'm trying to think of not follow up. The opposite of follow up. They have people who can actually go in first.
Initiation is probably the word you're looking for. Speaking of, you see Sasquatch, not Sasquatch, Sonic God going in for M. John. Mess up the names on that one. Sonic God will pounce away. I don't even know why I mentioned Sasquatch. He's up here. He's literally the opposite end of the map right now. Back to the other side of the map, though, it's just... This hero's chilling.
It wasn't quite initiation, but it's good enough. I'll take it. And yeah, I mean, that's a good play. Sonic God's here again. I mean, just like going on people to force rotations and steal some magic is always pretty good. He's TP on top now.
Seems like
See,
Sonic
honestly-
God... What you're saying?
No, I wasn't gonna say something very important. I'd feel a lot better about this game if more Radiant heroes had a Midas. I think that they would have a good chance even. Like if the Lina had a Midas, they'd be looking pristine. Now though, I'm a little bit concerned about how he's gonna scale.
Well, Logical's keys to success. Buy more Midas. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write that one down in the old notebook.
I would be mad if Jakku bought one even. Probably his teammates would be a little bit upset though.
What can
You
you do?
probably shouldn't buy one anymore, to be honest, either.
It is minute 24, perhaps a little bit too late.
They can use some Force Staff stats, pretty good against all their heroes. Doom, Slark, Nyx Assassin.
This is certainly the dream Force Staff game for almost both teams at this point. Obviously, into Clock, into Bat, also quite useful. We're seeing a hunt. M. John will be the target. Impale hits. Flame Break will knock away Sonic God and Cello. Sasquatch will lose his life. Sonic God wants one more kill on the aforementioned M. John. M. John will Lotus. He's got greaves in 1 more second. He uses it. LSA hits onto Slark, and as a result, M. John survives. So the damage was limited. Only a Batrider lost. And oh, whoa there, M. John. That's a lot of all chat, buddy. You gotta calm down the all chat, M. John. I have to have a talk with this team after this game. Like, buddy, you gotta calm down the all chat. This is a little too much.
I can't condone usage of that word, but he's happy to live. I don't know, I think all chat is fun, maybe. And the slurs.
M. John's kind of popping off a little too hard right now, though.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get yelled at for this. I'm gonna get yelled at for not addressing this sooner.
I mean, that's life.
That is life.
The game's still kind of the same state that's been for the past like 5-10 minutes. Guess they're cleaning up the outer towers on Polar Ice now. This game is slicking hard. This is like every anti-mage game in Lads ever, I feel like, unless you're off.
There have been a lot of AM games, you know, about half the carry players in the league think they're good at AM, and most of them aren't. Some of them are, most of them aren't.
Yeah, that hero's just hard to win with, unless you're off.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of carries that just... Wait a minute. Oh, Sonic God, he's found Dark! In comes Filsky, he'll doom the Anti-Mage. He'll get backed up by M. John. M. John wants to heal up the AM, but I don't see AM surviving because he's already dead. 80 TP's in on the Vano. M. John will lose his life as well. There's even more all chat. Speaking of mid lane, whole city gets gone on mid lane by Sasquatch, Polo, and Jakku. It'll end up being a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Polar Ass. Interesting trade, though. Hey.
That was a good play going on the 100 mid.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh wait, we don't. I was gonna say we don't have Aeneas anymore, do we? It's over.
Don't have what?
Aegis, it's gone.
It's what's the time? 1 second, I see.
I was gonna say no seconds now. Trying to look at things that were not the all chat, and well, that's gone now. Well, seems like Sasquatch is dead.
These bots too on Doom. That's a good purchase.
They know he's here, right? They have to know.
No, they don't see him, I think,
They
barely.
don't see him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought you saw
I
that
think
if the
they knew he
projectile
was
goes out.
there. I think they thought he like blinked and TP'd out and some shit.
He kind of did. He didn't really. I mean, he forced TP, but not.
Yeah, he forced
So
and then he like walked around and then TP'd. Can you click on the Doom? I like Doom. I like Filski's item build. Yeah, this bots too is good. So they're just trying to chase heroes right now.
we saw him go bots 2 last game as well. Paid off big
Mhm.
time in one of the pivotal team fights where they had Filski using the BOTs 2 to defend the base and then just TP back out to the Roshan area again over and over again. That was pretty useful.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's like too hard to do. I think that Lonely Stoner should try to like smoke out on their heroes though, on like Batrider and like Lena, and try to find a kill on the silence because they are pretty split right now on Polar S. And it's not impossible to kill a Doom or kill a Slark if you're like very prepared already. Like if you catch them trying to go on your AM and they like, don't immediately TP all their heroes, then you can just like burst a Slark after he dark packs.
Well, we're diving mid lane. DD Rune in hand for whole city. Sonnegat pounces forward. Lasso is the counterplay there on the whole, but seems like Polar Ass are enjoying the dive right now. Jakku's already dead. Jakku actually will buy back into the fight at this point. Filski's running forward. So is Hole. They've already doomed the anti-mage. Anti-mage will eventually lose his life. Jakku's trying to clean things up right now with the hook shot on Sonnegat, but Sonnegat has one more pounce. Over to Sasquatch is Batrider. Batrider is dead. That's 3 down on the side of the Lonely Stoner. They'll head to M-John, who's entirely out of mana. He's been Venomous Galed. LSA will hit on Cello and Whole City, resulting in 1 death on Nyx Assassin, turning into a 3-for-1 trade. But again, it's a Polar Ass team fight win, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it's just hard for them to play, especially if like, this is a nice play from Felski. That's all he has to do now, to be honest, is he just has to farm and then he just has to wait forever for the AM to blink in. I didn't see who canceled his link-ins, but it was good coordination.
You know, worst case scenario as well, Filski can just do the classic refresher agonyms. Put 1 Doom on himself, 1 Doom on AM.
Oh yeah, you can't just doom yourself. Oh, that's pretty bad. Yeah, I didn't even think about this, like, in terms of this matchup, but that is actually like a really tough. I mean, I guess maybe it's like harder to stick on him, and like I think AM kind of suffers from like the dooms that like last a long time, because normally in your like Ags doom, you like doom yourself, you blink in, and you like kill someone pretty quickly, and it's like a little bit harder to do that against AM unless you're like really ahead. But I guess they are like really ahead. The doom breaks. He might honestly be able to solo kill him when he gets the doom breaks.
Yeah, it's gonna be very scary to be Dark. Who is
Do you take
again,
Scorched Earth on Filski at 20?
he went Doom cooldown.
Okay, that's good for him. He used to take a Scorched Earth, and now I'm like, I'd always be surprised just because of how much Doom he plays.
Link Lasso on Slark. BOT2 bring Filski into the fight. AM is not doomed quite yet, but there's the doom. That'll be a death on Dark eventually. M-John is deep in the team fight, but, well, he'll be very dead very soon. He cannot win the 1v4 as a result. He'll lose his life. Meanwhile, Sasquatch gets solo killed basically by Hulsey on the east side, away from the main body of the team fight. It's already 3 dead. Polar Ass are firmly in the driver's seat right now, and again, barring a bit of a throw, this game's looking pretty over right now.
Yeah. It's yeah, I don't even know, to be honest. I don't know how you win on anti-mage. They can like they can't even really keep splitting at this point, so yeah, as you said, it's just if Polar Ass fucks up really bad, then maybe they'll lose. Otherwise, they should wrap this one up in like 5-10 minutes max. They don't really have a tower header, I guess, other than Slark when you get a bunch of stacks. Wind Ranger kind of sucks at hitting
Shot
towers.
in on wind. Speaking of winds, never mind, it's a 4-staff. Whole city's fine.
Aether Lens on Veno, I've never seen that before. Aether Lens plus Psychic Headband 4-stab range.
Sasquatch is
Exactly.
trying to hunt so badly, but Windrunner's just too fast, and Batrider's just too dead.
Oh, man. I don't understand. That's tough. I mean, he just like you're just trying to chase. You're just looking for anything there. That's a crazy tip from Hull. I guess. Yeah.
I think it was the right play to try that. It just didn't work.
I mean, I don't. Yeah.
What?
I mean, you're just like, supposed to lose, right? Even if you like play well, you're supposed to lose. 20k down.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but what is with Roshan today? So we had 2 different Roshan respawns in game 1. There were 3 Roshans taken. Roshan 2 spawned nearly at 3 minutes exactly, at 11 minutes. Roshan 2 spawned, I think, at like 10:55. And Roshan 3 spawned at nearly 11 minutes again. What is with Roshan today? That is like the
Doesn't
late.
want to
I
die.
don't know, man. He's. I guess he's tired of dying, man. This is just. I don't know, 3 incredibly late respawns. I don't know what the odds are on that, but can't be that high. If he's spawning in the latest 9th of the respawn window each time, we're talking about like 1 in 700 for 3 times in a row. That's pretty unlikely.
That one is.
Alright, cheese is left in the pit. I guess they don't need it.
They're just leaving it? Nah, someone's walking back, right? Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be unheard of. I mean, both at the lads level and even at the pro level, sometimes you just leave the cheese in the pit. You just don't grab it.
Sure.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's, I mean, yeah, there's not too much to say. Interested to see what kind of developments there'll be in the alt chat. I don't really know what rating is supposed to do, though. Sasquatch shattering roll it
He's
up.
got the lasso. He's got the M. John and Polo follow-up. They found a kill. Problem is, in come the cores. They'll go to Lena. Lena is low, but not quite dead. They'll head to the Dawnbreaker instead. Possibly simply a move to go on M. John to go on M. John. At this point, Thilski's doom will end in about 3 more seconds. Can they get Dark in that time? Yes, they can. So AM dead. Dawnbreaker dead. Pounds forward by Sonagod. Triple kill for Sonagod on the Slark. More tips in the chat. More all chat in the all chat. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna give both of these teams a warning after this. After this series. This is a little much, but yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
That's a problem for
That's
future me. That's a problem for me 30 minutes from now and not me currently.
For sure. I didn't realize that if you TP on the Slark and you press alt, it goes through. That's a pretty interesting idea. You can like, the Slark can like go really far and then just press alt. So that with bots 2 Doom is an interesting combo. You can even like Doom yourself before you TP in, and then TP on the Slark, who's just like in their phone. Not actually, but like all the way in.
Alright, let's see here. Sonagod will miss the pound. Shackle still hits from Hull City. They'll bring down M-John. They'll bring down Sasquatch. They'll bring down Polo. Everybody's dead. There are 2 buybacks ready to go. One on Lena, one on Dawnbreaker, but it seems like we are in the death animation of the Radiant's spirit right now. Animation, speaking of, pounce forward, misses by Sonagod. Will now be there on Dark by the second Aghanims pounce. Solar Guardian keeps Dark alive, but again, there comes Self-Doom from Filski. Down goes M-John. Polo wanted to bring down the Veno. He could not get the Veno. Therefore, nobody dies. Die back on M-John. More tips for good measure. Why not? And we'll go for an instead of Rex. This is going to be 2 sets of Rex. Link forward by Filski. Pounce again on Lena. Lasso will be onto the Slark, but he will not be quite into the fountain. Polo gets right click down, hookshot by Jakku. Dark is in the dire side back lines, tries overshield totem, and dies. The GG is called, and I'm gonna have to go type up some messages to both of these captains. Fun times for me.
Godspeed. This game's just hard to play. Anti-mage. Just impossible to win with. Yeah, exactly. Sasquatch.
You flaming dark?
Nah, I think he's flaming the other team. He's like,
Oh. Like, alright, we picked AM, enjoy your free win. Ended up being a 1-1 draw, though, between Polar Ass and the Lonely Stoner, aka Noun Test. That was not as good as game 1. That was, got a little ugly. All right, Logical. You got anything to say to the people about analysis stuff for this game or the players or anything? You got the floor.
Just hard to play. Hard to play AM. That's about it. You?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little bit. Yeah, I'm a little bit upset with the way the comms ended up, but the games were good. At least game one was good. Game two was kind of a stop that Dota Plus recognized before I did, because there was like a 1K net worth lead, and Dota Plus gave us 75% chance of Polar Ass winning. So Dota Plus knew what I didn't know apparently.
I think Dota Plus is not a fan of anti mage.
Yeah, that sounds correct. Either way, though, I'm gonna go wrap it on up, end the stream. You got any final words, call out, shout, say the people, lads, Logical?
Nah. How about you?
Nah. Just,
Alright.
stop with the all chat. Actually, I will. I'll soapbox. Why not? Just stop with the all chat, you fucking morons. Stop with the all. Did a little too much all chat this season. There were some no all calls. I'm sending official warnings to both of these teams. I'm not having it. I'm sick of these. I am just sick of it. So we'll see. We'll see where that one goes. But either way, I'll be back soon, I'm sure. Yeah. Either way, thanks for watching, everyone, and as always, have a great night.